I think I'm good off that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen into the show tonight, AB?
I only have ears for one man.
No.
You talk? Oh, you're really talking about a show. I thought you guys were still talking about some Dan's sexy voice.
Oh well.
Well, that's what I was talking about, but it's okay.
AB, it's very closely matched though. It's like
I hear
you
Dan's
have a
voice every
competitive
single
game.
day.
Yeah, I hear your voice every single day, AB.
I know, but you know, he like it.
Oh yeah, it's great. You got a great voice for sure. You got a radio.
Maybe I should. This is
the
start
most.
a podcast.
This is the most sus first 5 minutes of Coffee with Closers I think we've ever had in my entire life.
It's a mindset Monday. Let's go.
Words of affirmation for each other.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but love up here, guys.
You see, people, this is how you get your mindset, your head straight.
Anybody else want to join in?
Hey, you got to be surrounded with people that uplift you, bro, because otherwise,
that's right.
It's a shit show. But man, the myth, the legend, John Johnson, everybody. He's in the house. He is in the house. What's up, brother?
We're in his house.
We are in his
He's
house.
always in the house.
I was a little late.
We are.
I went to go get some coffee from the cafe, and I left my wallet at home. And it's a cafe that I regular, man. That waitress was thinking like I'm a rob the place. They made me leave my watch behind.
Wow.
Man. People don't trust me.
I thought you built a rapport.
I thought I built the rapport too. The crazy part is that's my boy's girl too, so I guess we're not that close either.
Okay.
Hey, man.
At least you know where you stand. So.
Exactly. I was about to say the same thing.
For real. It's all good. At least I didn't.
Hey, John, did you always have that little slit on your eyebrow, or is that new?
That's the new dog. We got the new.
That's new, right? Okay.
We got the skin update. You know what I'm saying? We got the little.
It blends in perfectly.
Right?
It blends in perfect. I'll give you that much. I remember when I tried doing some shit back in middle school. You rock it, dog. I can tell you that much.
Appreciate you.
I have a question.
What's good?
Has Brazil been like the best place to get like a haircut compared to all the countries you've been to?
Brazil, this is my favorite barber. I never had a barber that I appreciate so much. You know, this man has put me on some serious game. And it's up there with Argentina. I miss my barber in Argentina. He has a special place in my heart too. But I don't know, man. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna go next because I don't want to stay in Brazil. I want to go. I think I might go to Argentina again or Lima, Peru. I'm looking, man.
Ooh.
Bob, we got the match. We're matching today, brother. Let's go.
That's right. All right.
I love it.
Nick's matching in spirit with his red background there.
Mr. Nick. That's Juan.
That's him. I'm sorry. I said Nick. I don't know why. Sorry about that.
The last name is Nicasio, so it's pretty close. Nick, right?
Yeah, that's where it obviously came from. But
that's a good little nickname.
Yeah,
there we have it.
I've been called a lot of things, and that's not
that's not the worst one. That's not the worst one.
Not at all. Oh man.
Lola wants us to let's get going here. What's the topic today, Lola. Guys?
Sorry, Lola.
The topic, Lola, is you. What do you have going on?
Oh.
What do you need help with? How can we be of value to you? That's our intention here. It's a Mindset Monday. Where's your head at? What you got going?
Everybody else is shy this morning.
Damn it! We'll just open it up for everybody, not just to Lola.
I don't know if my attire is appropriate for the day or not.
Whoa.
Shirtless? Are we going shirtless?
Shirtless. Unreal.
Thinking about leaving my job to pursue real estate full time. Well, I mean, I can ask you a couple questions and advise you if this is a good idea or not. The first question would be, do you live by yourself, or like do you live with your family? Do you have to pay rent every month? Do you need that consistent income every month? Because I mean, if you still live with your parents, I mean, they might not like that you're not going to work or in school, but I mean, if you don't have to pay, you could try to leverage that. But I mean, if you got bills that are consistently stacking up every month and like you've never done a deal, you have no experience, it's a long shot. It's a long shot. So you better have a good mentor. That's all I can say.
I can chime in here. Go into full-time real estate if you have a minimum, I mean, minimum 6 months,
Bingo.
9, maybe even 12 months in this type of economy of reserves in case shit hits the fan, that you, your family, your household, your bills, your livelihood does not get affected.
Yep.
Because real estate is a roller coaster.
And that's not counting the marketing dollars that you need for the business and other costs of the business too. Juan is talking about just your personal expenses, your family personal expenses.
Yep.
100% agree. I personally, I did it that way and I still regret it. I wish I wouldn't have done it that way. I mean, anybody that asks me that question, I jumped in full, both feet. I stopped what I was doing and jumped both feet into the business. Okay.
I did that, but I got my first deal before I did that. I couldn't just run it up.
Okay. See, I didn't do that, and so I was an idiot.
I was also an idiot.
Yeah.
I was also an idiot.
No risk story.
I had what Juan is telling you to have, and I still think it was a mistake. Okay, because there's no reason for you to put yourself or your family in that risk. Okay,
that's the key right there, Bob. You got to make sure if you have people that you're responsible for, it is irresponsible to put your dreams over your responsibilities. You gotta take care of your responsibilities before you start going and pursuing your dreams. We want you guys to pursue your dreams, go after what's going on. I mean, like, we don't put your dream in the back of the pipeline, but like you have to, like, I use Dalton Woods as an example, prime example all the time. I mean, he's really young, got married really young, had a child really young. And he's been making, actually, honestly, really good money in wholesaling, but he still continues to go to work every single day and pursue his plumbing job. So he's done everything the right way. He's done everything the smart way. Bob and I did everything the complete way you don't want to do.
Yeah. I'll say it.
I moved to Florida with like $8,000 in my bank account, and I was like, I thought, I was going to, this gym that was going to change my life. I thought I was going to be living the dream. I thought, I just need, I understand how much money I have to make every single month, and I'll get it done. And, and I lost that partnership. I lost the gym, and my life was horrible. It was horrible for over a year. I lived in like I've told this story 1,000 times. I was afraid to go into Publix at one point because I was afraid that I was trying to buy this bag of rice, and I was terrified that my card was going to get declined because I was too scared to go look in my bank account because I didn't know if I had enough money in there or not. So it was really just like I was playing roulette with myself, and I was afraid that I was going to be that one person in line who was going to have to take the bag of rice back because my card got declined at the machine, and I couldn't even buy one bag of rice. That's just a feeling. It's a stupid fucking feeling. And you don't. And here's the reality: is you don't have to go that far.
You don't need to
get
put yourself
success.
into it.
You don't have to go there. Like the people that tell you have to go there, they're just trying to justify the reason that they went there. But I know both Bob and me, like we're honest enough to be like, nah, that was a mistake. We made a mistake, and like mistake. If we could do it over again, we would do it a different way.
Never.
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I would never do it again.
I'm gonna have to disagree because
hang on, John. I gotta. John. Wait one quick sec. I gotta tell everybody. Dan just dropped a nugget in there. I don't know if anybody picked it up though. and it was about him being scared about looking to his bank account, okay, to see if he has enough money in there or not. Ladies and gentlemen, a big tip for you all. Every single day, you need to be checking your bank accounts, okay? Your personal bank account, your business bank accounts, all of them, to know exactly where you are, to see how far away you are from where you want to be, okay? Check it every morning. If it's not there, that's motivation for you to move your ass, okay? If it's there, make sure you keep it there and don't lose it and hit your next goals and your next goal and your next goal. Sorry, John, go ahead.
That was big facts. I'm glad that I halted there to listen to that, because that's very relevant and very true. Very true. You do need to keep up with your finances. But as somebody, I took the risk, and I recently took the risk. I only took the risk a year ago, and I'm by no means, an established business owner in the same caliber that Bob, Dan, Matt, Juan, and even AB is. Like they're crushing it right now. But I do have a lot in the pipeline, and so I feel like I'm about to break through as well. And I would say I wouldn't go back and change anything, even though things didn't play out the way I thought I wanted them to at the time, and I did have to go through a lot of struggle. I would say that was where my character was developed, and I'm very proud of the person that I am today. And I wouldn't change anything looking back. So if there's somebody that I think, has done at least their first deal and has some money, don't just go if you got no money and no experience, but at least your first deal, and you want to really dive into this, and you actually have the time commitment to be able to do this full time and the dedication, I would say shoot your shot. I think too many people play it small personally, and this is just my opinion. I think too many people play it small. I feel like a lot of people, get stuck doing the same mundane thing day after day, telling themselves they're going to change, their life is going to get better. How's it going to get better? You're not doing anything different. Sometimes I feel like people need to take it to the extreme. And
there's where I disagree.
And we'll hop into that. But for me, personally, I needed that safety net to be gone. I had to burn the bridges for me to really pick myself up and make shit happen. But that was just me. And that's if there's somebody out there that's on the same path, that really feels like they don't fit in, things are just around them. They're not meant for the employee 9-to-5 life. Trust me, I understand. I understand what it's like to have your family tell you that you're supposed to be doing this, and if you don't go and get a college degree, you're not going to be anything. This and that. At the end of the day, I think it's very important for more people to understand that they are the creator of their life. You decide what type of world you wake up to in the morning. And I mean, you if you really assume responsibility for everything in your world, you can make changes. And if those changes involve going to new places, traveling, learning new languages, doing new stuff, I just want to encourage you to do it, because at the end of the day, you got to go to sleep with yourself. You got to wake up and see yourself in the mirror. And if you're not proud of what you see in the mirror, you got to make a change, man. And I can confidently say I'm getting proud of what I see in the mirror, man. I'm getting proud of what I see in the mirror, man. So that's all I gotta say for today. That's all I gotta say.
John is also 22 and has no one that relies on him. That's a very big important factor that he didn't put in there. That he didn't. Say. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is very important, and I will say I was in John's same shoes. I was 23 when I left. And I had no one that relied on me. I had no responsibilities. So it wasn't irresponsible. It was irresponsible to myself, but it wasn't irresponsible to anyone else. And that's the biggest key. Listen, especially if you're, and I'm just this is who I am. It's a very traditional guy. If you have a woman, a girlfriend, wife, or anything that's serious, really serious, they rely on you, you rely on them, and you're building your life together. You got pets that need you to buy them food so they can live. If you got a dog that relies on you to buy it food, even, especially, I don't know why you would have a child. I don't know why you would have a child if you're not financially set. But I know some of you do, and I know it's a very big thing to have children now when you're not even financially able to take care of yourself. I don't know where that ideology comes from, but it's out there, and people definitely do. And I'm sure there's some people up here on stage who had a child at one point in their life that maybe they weren't ready, and they found a way to fix that and put themselves in a position to be ready. But like, yeah. I mean, Juan changed his life. I mean, Juan changed his own life, you know what I mean? And he now his kids are going to be living, they're going to be living well now, you know what I mean? Because Juan has put himself in that situation. But I mean, look, if you have kids or you have a wife or whatever, and you are a man and your wife is going to work every day, you need to be going to work every day, and then you build your dream when you got free time, and you got to just be like, hey, look, I understand that you want time with me. This is what you say. I promise, if she truly loves you, what you need to say to your wife is, hey, if you want to spend time with me, I understand that. But what you also have to understand is the hours that I am putting in outside of this work, outside of my day job, is for our future together, so that we don't have to keep living the life that we're currently living. Right? This is for our future. But don't put people who are relying on you, don't put them on the burner. Don't put them on the stove and be like, oh man, you just gotta believe in me. Like, no, yeah. you gotta make sure that you're putting food in your child's mouth. You gotta make sure that you're doing your part. If you have a home, if you got bills and someone else is living in that house. And listen, guys, I'm gonna do too. I mean, I'm sure Bob is maybe in the same boat as me when he was my age, but I'm still paying today. I'm like financially paying today for the mistakes that I made when I was John's age.
Yeah.
I'm still paying because I destroyed my credit when I was 24 years old. And that is a horrible place for you to be in your life, is destroying your credit when you're that young. So that's another reason, because if I would have played it the way that Dalton Woods or AB or Savion is playing it right now at their age, if I would have played it the same way that they're playing it, I would be in a much higher position than I even am today, because the amount of money that I would have been able to touch today just utilizing myself as an asset. Because now, you know, I can't even buy things in my own name. I'm still working, trying to repair the history of the everything that I did to my credit. And I paid a lot of money. I paid tens of thousands of dollars to fix the mistakes that I made back then. And that's money that's really, it's wasted. I mean, that's wasted money, because I shouldn't have had to pay that money. I came from a good home. I came from a good position. I came from a family that wanted to support my dreams. And I left. And I guess it was hubris. I guess it was arrogance. I'm not really sure what caused me to think that I knew better. But sometimes when we're really young, we think we know so much more than what we actually do. And then we fly too close to the sun and we get burned. So, I mean, you know, like, you don't want to get burned too bad. Because, I mean, that you'll be paying for it for years to come afterwards. Because I still am. I mean, I'm 4 years down the road. I'm still paying for the mistakes I made when I was 23.
Yeah, absolutely. You're still paying for it. You can't even afford to put on a full shirt right now. Jesus.
I mean, He's down bad, Bob. Hey, that was good, Bob. That hit me.
I'll send you a quarter your way today. Give me your PayPal.
Thank you. Yeah, a penny, you know, a price of a coffee a day may pay Dan's bill so he can buy a shirt.
Yeah. I was super lucky. In my opinion, I was super lucky, because when I did that, the only thing that got me moving and doing and getting to where I am now is it was games that I played in my own mind. Okay, it never happened, but I always played this in my mind, where my kids would come to me, little kids. When I started, they were, I think, 4 or 5. Daddy, did you make enough money today to buy me shoes? Daddy, did you make enough money today to buy me the ice cream that I've always wanted to have? Those fucking games pulled me through. That was it. You know, if it wasn't because of that, I would have lost everything. It was the stupidest move I ever made in my life. I will never do it again. Okay? Because, John, I was not in your position. I was not 22 and only, the only person that depended on me was me. Okay? I had a wife, still do, and 2 kids, okay, that I had to take care of. So it's extremely irresponsible, like Dan says, if you jump from your full-time job into this full force without having any backup, even if you have the 6 to 12 months of savings that Juan talked about, which is super smart. If you don't have that, you are a fucking moron if you even think about this kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Definitely.
So that's step one. Step one is to have that backup, like Juan said. Okay? But even still, you are jumping into something new. If you were going to John or Dan or me or Matt or Juan or AB, anybody, okay, if we were going to go and get into something brand new that we don't have any idea, but we think that it's such a brilliant idea, it might be, I don't know, AI, it might be crypto, I don't care what it is, okay, gold, silver, bonds, whatever, okay, and you have no idea, but it's really appetizing for you to get into, and you have no idea, and you go, you know what, I'm going to stop real estate and I'm going to jump right into it, you're a moron, okay? I'm telling you that right now. Do not do that. Do not do that, okay? Get into it little by little, little by little. Carve a little bit of time from other things. Stop watching Netflix, okay? If you have to, cut your workout times from 2 hours to an hour, okay? Make it more efficient in other things, but take that time and put it in. Wake up earlier. That's what I did. I didn't start off by naturally waking up at 4:30 in the morning every day, okay? I forced myself because I needed that time. I had to carve that time out, okay? So do whatever you can to carve that time to learn and to go and do, okay? But do not stop your full-time job. The only way that I would is if I got a full-time job in this business, working for somebody else full-time, making sure that I still am making money to be able to satisfy my obligations and learn at the same time. That would be the only thing that I would do.
That's
So,
something I think about a lot, Bob, is like what type of father I would be, because that's something that I think is going to definitely happen later on in my life. And that's why I'm really trying to pay more attention to the type of man that I am today. And I'm really trying to become somebody that I think I could be very, very proud of. Real shit. Because I think about
fantastic.
Like, how I was raised. And I mean, nobody pushed me to go to the gym. So like, I think about that kind of stuff. Like if I had a kid, like I'd push him to go to the gym. Like that kind of stuff. I want my kid to want to make money.
I thought Dan pushed you.
Dan pushed me.
Dan's his daddy.
I was in the gym.
I'm like low key like everybody. I'm like low key everybody's dad. Juan, you miss out on that. You missed that spot.
I was in the gym. I was in the gym before I met Dan, but Dan has put me onto some serious game for the gym.
My dad left me when I was 2 and never found him again. So I'll take you on as a dad. Thanks, Dan.
I got you, man. You can join the Neverland crew.
The big daddy.
The Neverland crew.
Listen, this has been a lot of fun. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, very similar to Dan and Bob. I am still paying for it. I'm 40 years old. I'm still paying for it because, you don't know what you don't know. I didn't really have a community like this when I was growing up, or when I was a young adult. I wish it did exist. You guys are like overly freaking blessed to a very, very high capacity. You guys don't even know it. But hopefully some of you do really appreciate it. With that being said, my ass has to go to work. So I'll be leaving you guys for a little bit. I'm going to try to come back after my next coaching call. If you guys are still on here, fantastic. But listen to these guys. They're giving you really good gems. Yeah, it's easy to make these mistakes. It's very hard to get out of them sometimes. So I got to go feed my baby kids. Got some work to do. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care of them.
Yeah.
Mocha Drake asks, he's asking me, do you feel like the extra pressure was needed or you still would have been able to conquer like you did? No, I needed that pressure or else I would have probably folded. I know myself. Okay. And that's a huge thing. You got to know yourself. You got to know your strengths and weaknesses. If you don't, you're going to mess up. Okay. So know where you're weak at, know where you're strong at, double down on your strengths. In my opinion, okay? And it was just the fuel for my drive. That's all that was. Okay, those games were just fuel for my drive. So that's how I did it. If I didn't have that, I would have failed. I know I would have failed.
So Bob, I got to get you with the follow-up question, man, because you just
Let's hear it.
shared that, and I also heard what you said earlier about thinking about your family first and this and that. But do you feel as though at the time that was necessary for you to risk
No,
everything to put your back
no,
against the wall? No.
no. It could have been done differently. Okay. What I should have done was I should have stayed with the business that I had at that time. I had an in-home tutoring business at the time. Okay. And I had 2 franchises of this business. Okay. And it was making decent money. It was covering all our expenses and then some. Okay. And then this whole idea, whole concept, the bug bit me basically of real estate. I saw a few people and I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with my life. Okay. And I switched on a dime without thinking about my family. And that was total irresponsibility of me. Okay. Total. I take full blame for it. 100%. I got lucky, in my opinion. Okay. I had the drive. I was sort of smart enough to be able to make some right decisions to pull it out, but I would never recommend it to anybody else. No. You stick with what you do, okay, financially, because that's what's keeping you alive, okay, and your family. And then as you're doing that, you continuously carve more and more time out for what your passion is. In this case, it happens to be real estate. Great, okay? But do not cut it's like cutting your artery, okay, to feed your mind. You're going to die, okay? You will die. So that's how I look at it. And I'm sure there are lots of, examples of people who have switched and gone from one thing to another immediately, cutting the entire thing and have been successful. But I promise you, the number of people who have failed is multiples more.
People don't really. I don't really think people quit. I think it's more or less like I've said a lot of times. It's not that people quit. It's this that life will take you out of the game. It'll force you out of the game. If you're not playing the smart thing, and I look, and I've said it 1,000,000, 20,000, 30,000 times. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur. I've always known that I have a very strong, polarizing personality. I would say almost everybody up here on this panel has their own strong personality, like set system. I will say that I think that one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could have got if I got it earlier in my life is don't fanboy over anybody, right? Want to be your own self, want to be your own creator to a certain degree. If you're looking up at somebody else and you're like, man, I wish I had what they had, or you catch yourself saying, oh man, I wish I had this person's life, or I want to try to imitate or copy this person's life because I follow them and I like what they have. You'll never ever be anything. That is a big piece of advice that a lot of people aren't given. And I think a lot of people pick someone on social media that they look up to and they want to be like. And it's like Bob has said several times, any of you who are listening to this show every day, you should never want to be any of us, right? You should just want to be yourself. If you don't want to be yourself, then you'll always struggle with having your own personality. And honestly, in business, you have to have your own set of beliefs. You have to be very strong in what it is that you believe, even if it's wrong. You got to feel like it's right. Otherwise, you'll be taken out of the game because you'll have so many people in your ear. I can't tell you how many people I have in my ear all day long telling me this, telling me that, blah, 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 right? If I just don't have a set idea or a set mind of how I see my company moving, then I'm going to take everybody's piece of advice, everybody's, opinion over here, and you're never going to get anywhere. So, don't ever look at someone else, what someone else has or someone else's life and think, man, I would really like to have their life, their lifestyle. I want to try to just copy what they're doing and just go after their path. It's like, to some degree, you can take the mistakes that someone else has made and say, okay, I can learn from this person's mistakes. I don't have to make the same mistakes. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to try to forge your own destiny out of what someone else's path was made up of. That's a gigantic mistake. Like, you have to create your own path, and you have to feel like in your mind that, like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm right.
For real.
Like, you have to feel like that. I know John feels like that.
I feel like that.
I know
man.
Bob.
I feel like that.
I know.
I feel like that.
I know in the conversations that the Bob has felt like that. I mean, and so that's a big piece of advice. But I mean, also to, just going back to what Bob said about you can just take the mistakes that we've made. There's definitely smart ways to do things, and there's just things that you don't have to do to be successful. And one of the things that you don't have to do is be successful is you don't have to throw everything out the window and say, I just gotta make it, because a lot of you won't. There's a few of us that can and that have, but most of you won't make it if you throw everything out the window, because I've watched most people throw everything out the window thinking that they were going to make it, and life took them out of the game, and it forced them back because they were like on the verge of being homeless, and they just couldn't get it done and get it started.
I gotta add my thought here, man. I honestly, man, the people that show up here day in and day out, I have a lot of faith and belief in the people that show up here day in and day out.
I don't have the faith.
I do.
That's
And
great. That's great.
I don't
have
believe
the
that
faith.
99% of people that are not even disciplined enough to show up for themselves or even invest time into themselves. I think that everybody in here should take a bet on themselves, because I'll tell you what, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe that things happen for a reason. I believe that we're all in proximity for a reason. And I think the majority of people in general don't have what it takes, but I do believe that the people in here do have what it takes. And I think that the people in here do need that extra push and encouragement to just go after what they want. I think that that's ultimately, as an entrepreneur, we chase what we want. And if you know what you want and you create clarity around what you want, and you stay away from just what is not that, you will be able to get what you want. And that's the message that I just want to push out, is like, believe in yourself and believe in what you want, because you can attain what you want. And there's nobody that can stop you but you. I promise you. If you allow yourself to just listen to everybody's opinion, if I allowed myself to just listen to everybody's opinion, everywhere I go, people always asking me, do I play basketball? Do I play basketball? I'm tall. I don't like basketball. I have no interest for basketball. I want to do what
Volleyball?
I want to do. I skateboard, man. I shred rails, all right? I trifle down sets. That's what I do. But now I'm focused on business. And I just want to really encourage everybody in here to really take that bet on yourself. Obviously, make sure that you weigh the risk. If there are people that depend on you and you have a family, make a calculated decision. But if you're a young man or young lady that is really like has no dependence and nobody is depending on you, like, and you want to take control of your life, go do it. Go travel. Go see the world. Go buy that ticket, man. Go book that flight. Buy that B&B. Take a risk. Too many people are so scared. Here's the thing. I went out to Las Vegas in 2021 to meet a good mentor of mine named Ryan Pineda. And I left that event with one thing that really changed my perspective on my life. He told me this story about how he risked everything he had on his first flip, put all of the expenses on his credit card to make it happen. And his justification was, well, I mean, I'm broke now, and if I don't do this, my life isn't going to change. I'll still be broke. Yeah, maybe he would be in debt, and that would suck. But the risk, so many people worry about, well, what's going to go wrong? What's going to go wrong? What could go right? What could go right? I want more people to focus on what could possibly go right. Stop focusing on the pessimism bullshit that the media is always trying to fucking feed you, and think about what it is that I really want out of my life. I promise, in my personal experience, I go out, people are much kinder than the world tries to portray the world is. You can attract good vibes, just by being a good person and doing good things. And I just want more people to just take that risk, because the unknown really isn't that scary once you get comfortable there, but it's so frightening to take that initial leap. But if you can take that leap, if you can really bet on yourself, you can really believe in yourself, you can create whatever you want, I promise. I hope that my life is a testament to what I'm saying, especially when I look back in a couple years. Dan, we were talking about this, that guy Mo, he was talking about how he manifested all this stuff that he has in his life now. My life will be a testament to what I am saying here today. It certainly has. I've looked back at what I have said in the years prior to today, and it is all manifesting in real time. I said I was going to teach myself Spanish. I taught myself Spanish. I'm teaching myself Portuguese. I'm improving as a man. I'm becoming more valuable. And I want everybody here to do the same for themselves. Think about what it is I want in my life. What does the ideal reality, what would make me happy and inspired to wake up every single day? Write that down. I cannot stress how important it is to write down the things that are in your mind, because when they're in your mind, they're in the metaphysical world. They don't exist. But the moment that you write it down and you bring it from that metaphysical plane to the physical plane, it is now real. You have a real, tangible goal that is in front of you. And if you can see that over and over and over, remind yourself why you're working for what you're working for each and every single day, you have a much higher likelihood of achieving and accomplishing your goals. So, moral of the story, you can have what you want. And it might not come easy, but you can have what you want.
Can I pop a needle in that balloon?
You can try.
Pop it.
No, I'm kidding. Obviously, I agree 100% with what you said, John. Here's a challenge, and that's why I'm leaning more towards Dan. Has nothing to do with what you said being wrong. You are 100% correct.
You, because we also know you. John's a unique individual. He doesn't believe that he is, but he's a unique individual.
Well, I don't know why he wouldn't think he is, but he is. Anyways, the reason that, John, I think that Dan thinks that people in this audience or in our community or in general don't get where they want to, okay, has nothing to do with what their passion is or what they want or don't want. It's most people misinterpret this point. They think that just because they want something, that's it. I want that Lambo. I want that house. I want to travel. I want to. Okay? But when it comes down to it, most people really don't. It's a good idea to be able to do that. Okay? I would like to do that. Okay? I would like to be successful in real estate. I would like to be in shape. I would like to have that person in my life. I would like. But you don't stop, and exactly what you said, John. They don't stop and think fully through it. They don't stop and go, let me cut out all this noise from social media, from my family, friends, parents, whomever. Shut everybody out and think for myself. And that's how you get to Dan. Okay? That's exactly what Dan did. He shut everybody out and he said, no, this is what I want. Fuck everybody else. I'm right. This is what I'm going to do. Okay? When you get to that point, now you know what it is that you want. Until then, it doesn't matter how much you manifest, doesn't matter how much you tap, how much you do affirmations, how much you say life is wonderful, how much you're grateful. None of that makes a difference. I promise you. Okay? Until you are real with yourself first. Okay?
So I'm going to go ahead. I'll let you finish. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead.
So I'll tell a story. So I've dated two girls in my life who were entrepreneurs, and both very different personalities, but to a certain degree, they're both very similar. And they're both older than me. And what's funny is they both started their entrepreneurial situation, like their journey, like way before I ever did. Right? They've been going at it way longer than I ever did. I came into their lives, both of them, after they had already started their entrepreneurial journeys, and I'm like way farther ahead than both of them like will ever be. And that's not to me. I'm not shitting on them, but the thing is what I noticed is there was the difference is both of them had this. They shared this this ideology that they loved to read. They've read every book. Both of them have read every book from every entrepreneurial guru that you could possibly imagine. All the books they've read, I've never read a single one. They've listened to every podcast from every entrepreneurial guru that you can think of. I've never listened to a single podcast that they've listened to. They both do affirmations. They both would get up in the mirror. They would do vision boards. They would do Pinterest stuff. They would do all these things. And one of them now, she just started work. She ended up having to actually go work for a company. Now I heard that she quit her business. She quit her business recently, and now she's doing sales for another company, which is probably what she should have been doing 3 or 4 years ago. But and then the other one, she's just been spinning her wheels. She's been spinning her wheels for years, for the past 4 or 5 years, and and I just continue to keep on stacking. And the whole difference of what I'm saying is, I'm not saying don't read. I'm not saying don't listen to other people. I'm not saying that don't come in here and don't listen to us. I'm just saying, I think like this goes back to a conversation that I was actually having with some guys in the Discord the other night. Me and John were in here and we were all talking about working out and lifting weights. And one of the guys actually said something very, very, very important, because John was talking about creatine and protein and all this stuff. And he said, you know what, John? He goes, all that stuff is great, but man, don't forget about just eating real food and just going to the gym and lifting heavy weights. He said that because that's the most important thing. And I was like, man, I've never heard somebody say something so real, because my point is how I'm connecting those things is sometimes we can get so caught up on the little things that we think are going to like give us the next goal or the next, piece of sauce or something that's going to take us to the next level. Right. But like, the training is great. You can train, learn, but it doesn't beat the will to act, does it, John? It just doesn't beat the will to act. And that's where the part what John's saying is so true, because, the will to just go and just do the thing, just pick up that phone and make that call that you're afraid to make, the will to go just do that, and then to just go after what it is that you want, or go do this or go do that. Because, the thing is with both of them, the thing was, I always just heard, I'd always hear, oh, well, I heard this is really good, or I heard this is really good. I think we should try this, or I think we should do that. And one of them, I used to have a business. We had a business together, and it did horrible because it was always like every month we were trying a new thing. She wanted to try something else, or she wanted to try something different.
No commitment.
And what's
That's
funny
no
is I shut the business. I shut the business down. I was like, this is not working. When you step away, and then I stepped away and did it myself. Now we're doing almost over $200,000 a month in revenue. The way that I run my business model. So, it's just, I know a lot of people, I can't tell you how many people who I've met in my life who they change the way that they speak, because they think that if they speak in positivity and they speak in all these certain ways and things, because somebody on a podcast told them this is how they have to speak and this is what's going to make them successful. Here's the thing. I had a conversation with a dude who's very real, who was in prison for like 13 years. We were having a conversation on Saturday, and and he told me about the thing, because we were talking about the content, because a lot of my friends been pushing me like, man, you got to do content. You need to put yourself out there. You need to put this. And I said, and I had an honest question. I said, this is an honest question, because I don't really know anything about content. I just said, I go, well, what about the algorithm thing? I said, I don't know anything about it. Hey, and he looked at me, and this guy's got a lot of followers. I don't know how many followers he has, hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million at this point. But he's got a huge following on Instagram. We were training at the gym on Saturday, and he was telling me some stuff. He yelled at me and said, he goes, you got to start putting out your stuff. He goes, because your life is a movie to most people. He said, it'd be ashamed of you not to let them watch. And that really hit me for a second. And then I said something. I guess it was stupid, but I was really being honest. I said, well, what about the algorithm thing for Instagram and this and that? And he goes, fuck the algorithm. He goes, you don't need to worry about an algorithm. He goes, just get on there and be yourself, talk real. He goes, be who you really are, because that's the shit that really counts. And that's the most important thing. Is everything that John says is like, it's very motivational, it's very inspirational, it's all these things, but that's who John really is. John doesn't turn that off. Like, that's who John is 24/7. I've met John in person. He came down and stayed with me for a week. That's who he is all the time. He never shuts that off. So it's like, it's great for us to sit up here and talk and motivate you guys and get you guys going. But if you guys don't take it and do anything and get off of here and carry over, right? It's like, even some of you guys who get in the chat and you go, oh yeah, 100, I believe, yeah, I feel you, man. Preach, John, you saying the right stuff, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to make 100,000 calls. And then tomorrow, like, you don't get up and you don't do shit. It's like, you got to have the carryover effect. You have to be the person all the time. No matter, you can't just be on this Discord acting like you're one person and get off the Discord and you're a whole other person. Like, John will tell you, I am the same person on here that I am in real life. This is who I am 24/7. If you see me in person, if you're around me in person, this is who I am all the time. I don't change. So the guy, who I was talking to on Saturday, he's the same exact deal. He's the same person on social media that he is in person. And he was basically just saying, like, quit worrying about some stupid algorithm. Quit worrying about like that. He's like, that's a barrier for you. Because you're setting a barrier in your mind. That's why you're not posting. That's why you're not doing this. It's because you're worried about some stupid algorithm. He goes, you think I care about an algorithm? He's like, look at me. You think I know about an algorithm? He's like, I just get on my phone and I just say real shit. And he goes, and that's what people want to hear. He goes, and if you get on your phone and you just say real shit, he goes, you're gonna attract the right people to your page. He's because, he goes, you don't want to just be like every other person. You guys don't want to just be like every other people. You put yourself out there, be unique, feel yourself, be who you really are. And that's what goes back to what I said earlier. Don't be a fanboy, right? Don't copy someone else who you look up to. Just be you, develop your own personality, and then just go and go take action. Just go have the will to go act, go make mistakes. Don't be stupid, but go make some mistakes and learn inside of a safe structure, and you'll be successful if you really develop who it is that you really are. And that's why I know John will be successful, because John is who he is. And that's the people that succeed. It's not the people that take the back seat, that don't. It's the people like Bob. It's the people like Matt Riley. It's the people like Andrew and AB. They all have their own personalities. And that's something that a lot of people don't have anymore, is their own personality. Believe it or not, everybody's trying to copy somebody else. And it's just like, that's why I know John will be successful, because he's like I said, but he's unique. He just is who he is. And if I can just give you one valuable piece of advice, just be who you are. Figure it out who you are, and just be that person 24/7. You will operate through optimal and clarity, and your life will change. That's the number one thing to make your life change. Just be you.
Be true to yourself.
Next time you're in proximity with this guy, I want you to ask him what it is like. So when you're first getting started, I feel like, and this is the boundary that I'm facing too, because like after we had that conversation, I started getting a little bit more vocal. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't post, what I wanted to say really, because I know that what I want to say is really gonna rock the boat, because it is not in alignment with what the narrative is being pushed right now, and that's truly my belief. I believe that there are specific things happening in the world that are being pushed and advocated for that I just don't feel is realistic or even correct. Like, I just feel that it's wrong. But I know that if I were to get vocal about this, I will definitely get canceled. What is his advice to people that truly do believe these things? Like, look, I don't know if you guys are seeing what state the world is in today, but I don't think we're heading in the right direction, and this is the direction that I think we should go in. What is it that he would say to somebody like that that's like, look, you're definitely going to rock the boat. I know that there's a bunch of people that definitely feel.
I would say he rocks the boat.
He does rock the boat.
I would say he rocks the boat. Yeah.
Rock the boat. But
I mean, if you read his comment sections, it's not people like all loving and supporting it. It's most people who comment on his stuff are trashing it. So I mean, but like it's the population that listens to him, that believes what he's saying, that he's changing their lives. He's like, that's why I do what I do.
yeah.
So I would say, that just goes back. I mean, you got to be yourself. Now, I think there's a line. You got to be careful. You got to draw a certain line. You know what I mean? Like you can't. And I think it's just, you also got to make sure is like, if I'm going to say something, and do I really believe it? Am I really that guy? Like, don't get up on social media and act like you're a strong, badass dude and all this stuff, and and your life's not even together. You know what I mean? I think you have to make sure, like I said, you just gotta, like he always says, you gotta make sure that you're operating from a piece of absolute clarity. That's the key. As long as you feel clarity in what you're speaking, then that's the key. But don't say things, don't use buzzwords and just say things for attention. Don't just go on there and just talk. He's like, you got to get on there and talk and say the things that you really feel inside of your heart. And if you really feel it inside of your heart, then say it. But, you don't want to just get up there and just be like, oh, maybe if I talk about these controversial topics, it'll. I guess we got some questions now. We got some questions. Yeah, we got some questions now. I guess we should answer.
Jay Dimes,
probably do that.
Come on up. What you got going? Jay Dimes, you're up.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Can't hear you, man. He's got his microphone.
You're unmuted. Nope, we can't hear you.
Can't.
Mr. Matt Riley in the audience today. What's going on, Mr.
Hey,
Matt Riley?
Matt Riley.
He got mad. We didn't let him talk, and he just walked off.
Not enough sub 2 questions.
Right? Exactly.
Not enough seller finance.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's up, Andrew?
How we doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Fantastic. Doing great. Have a lot of great things going here starting off the week, so absolutely no complaints.
Awesome.
You have a question?
Might as well go to Vittoria.
What's up, Dan?
Can you hear me?
You got a question?
Hear me?
Go ahead, Vittoria. Yeah, we can hear you.
We got you.
Hey guys, I'm Vittorio. I'm from Italy, so I'm doing it from Italy.
Okay.
I am from and live here. Never been in the States. Oh yeah, I would just wanted to thank you guys, because you're bringing so much values to all of you. If you guys, I was here last week. Yeah, Then I was here. I was there for you.
Sorry about that. I don't know if that's the first week that you joined. It's not usually the topic. I promise. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. So actually, I saw an opportunity last time, because I believe Matt was mentioned that he was petty and wanted to get back on a realtor in Nebraska, and I currently have a lead there. Yeah, that they might open to do something creative, and yeah.
Okay. There you go, Matt Riley. Where's he at?
Yeah. So reach out to Matt and explain to him your situation, and hopefully you guys can JV on it.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be
sure.
sick. Yeah, be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Okay,
We had a
thank you,
question about. Is that it? Sorry, Vittoria. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, thank you. No, thank you again, guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. So we had a question on the side chat saying, hey, my market this, it's too hard. I'm thinking of going somewhere else. I don't know about expenses and stuff like that. Here's a man from Italy doing business here, okay? Virtually. John Johnson's in Brazil doing business here in the US virtually, okay? So that should not be a reason, quote unquote, more like an excuse, right? So don't let geography or age or anything like that stop you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, if you live somewhere where you're like, it's expensive, and I'm like, I'm losing money. I feel like I'm losing money.
You can do it
because,
virtually though.
Leave. Yeah, leave. Don't stay somewhere where you like it's bleeding you dry. I mean, it's a terrible decision. I mean, don't stay somewhere that's bleeding out your bank account. You can do this business from anywhere.
You're talking about if you're living somewhere that's expensive, Dan?
Yeah, like if you're living somewhere that's expensive, don't let it bleed you out. I mean, go somewhere where you can afford to live outside the country.
Yeah. So like if you go to Miami and you just can't keep up with the prices in Miami, you should leave Miami, right? So just saying, Dan.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, this is not. I mean, there's cheap. There's affordable places to live in Miami, but it's not anywhere that you'd want to live. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, Miami's not a city, in my opinion, that anywhere in South. I mean, you don't want to live in Tampa. You don't want to live in Clearwater, any of those areas, Sarasota, Naples, Palm Beach. You don't want to live in those areas where it's like, because it's just gonna. I mean, even Austin, Texas now, and Los Angeles, and New York City. I mean, be somewhere where you can survive. You know what I mean? And then when you make some money, then you can go live wherever you want to live. But when I was broke, I didn't think, oh man, the greatest decision for me would be to move to Miami. It wasn't, I didn't move here until I was making money.
Hey, Dimes, you got your mic together here, brother? I think they're still muted. In terms of real estate and business, just got a text from the agent. I coordinated over the weekend to go get pictures taken for a deal that I'm doing out there in New Mexico. We're going to get the photos back and get the property listed today. So excited.
Nice. All right. Who else has questions? We got 54 people in the audience just listening to us. Mac doesn't count.
I want to know
53.
what Jay Times' question is now. I feel
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
I'm put on the hook. It's like a, what do they call it, a cliffhanger. I don't get to know what his question was.
Earlier we were talking about
the final episode of the season.
Earlier we were talking about creating yourself. This is a great platform to create yourself. You can come up here, introduce yourself, let people know where you are, what you're doing, how you can collaborate. Really seize this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the place to be in proximity with the right people. There you go. Got David G joining us on the stage.
Mocha Drake, how about how to go about using agents to find deals?
Hello?
Okay.
Hey, there he is.
There we go.
Testing.
How you guys doing? My name is Jaden. I currently go to Iona University. I'm a student studying criminal justice and entrepreneurship. I just wanted to get on here and share my thoughts and questions because I began my real estate journey earlier this year. I took my real estate test last July. I'm waiting for results, and I just wanted to know, with the New York City market being so saturated as it is, and me as a beginner getting into real estate wholesaling, what are some good tips or advice that you guys could give that could, one, lead me to maybe potentially my first sale within the end of this year, or just advice on how to go about the markets here in New York? Because yet again, everything is a little difficult to, when you're in a city, it's a little more difficult.
Are you
So
an agent?
No, I'm currently waiting for my results from the test. I'm the agent right now.
Bob, I was gonna say, I think in New York, the move would be to go become an agent. What do you think about that?
For me personally, I don't think it hurts anywhere. Whether it's New York, Florida, doesn't matter. California, does not matter. I think getting your real estate license is a good idea in general. What I would say is what I told, I don't even remember who it was. Maybe it was White Jack on the side chats. He asked, how can you become better? You just find someone who's a few steps ahead of you, J Dimes, okay? And partner up with them, follow them, do whatever you can to become friends with them, to learn from them, okay? And then when you get to their level, you find someone else. So right now, it sounds like in New York, I believe Diego is in New York, isn't he? You can hook up with Diego and, try to work with him and learn from him, okay? And just grow that way so that you can do your first deal by the end of this year, like you said you want to.
Yeah.
Okay? But set a plan, find someone in that market that's successful, and try to find out how you can add value to them and become a part of their team so that you can learn as well.
Okay. Another question with the title company, and when you get the contracts from the buyers and you get the agreement and things like that, do you have to have kind of like a person that you know to these title companies, or can you just go into the title companies with the contracts and show them the agreements?
You can do both. I mean, we live in an when I started back in 2007, that was when we were doing short sales and REOs a lot. And so a lot of title companies did not like the idea of being able to wholesale or flip short sales. So they were very much against it. And so I actually walked into title companies and set appointments with them, walked in there, showed them my documents and how I was doing it until I found the right companies to work with. So you can do that, but right now we live in an age where you don't even need to do that. You just call them up, call title companies up and say, hey, are you investor friendly? Ask them a couple of questions. Can you do this? Can you do that? By the way, I have some documents I'd love to send to you so you guys can review it, make sure you guys are okay with it. That's it. And then they review it and they say yes or no. If they say no, you move on. You find somebody else. If they say yes, great. You found your title company.
And last question that I have for today, I just wanted to know, with the LLC, when it comes to getting started, how important is the LLC to someone who's getting started in real estate wholesaling?
To start, the most important thing to do, honestly, J Dimes, is just to start taking action, talking to people. Okay, that's the most important thing. LLC, yeah, it's important. Ultimately, it definitely is very important. I wouldn't say don't do it, but I wouldn't say that it's the number one thing that I would do. I would look and find cash buyers first, deals second, and then I'd think about LLC. Make some money and then go get your LLC. But don't see, the reason I say that is most people use that as an excuse to procrastinate. Okay, to do what they're supposed to be really doing, which is finding your cash buyers, finding the demand, and supplying that demand, which is finding your cash buyers and then finding the deals to supply them. Okay, so that's what you should be concentrating on, not the LLC, not the CRM, not the calculators. None of that matters. Okay. So go find your cash buyers, go find your deals, feed them, make money, and then you can think about other things.
All right. I appreciate the advice. Well, thank you. I'm about to step off the stage right now. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for the insight.
Watch the first step. It's a doozy.
All right.
Thank you for
All right, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Bob, we talk about it a lot. I think, the same questions do pop up on a consistent basis. I'm gonna have to assume the responsibility of creating, some sort of video for people to watch and get it done. It's just another thing to do.
Yep. Yeah, I know. But that's what happens when you're the owner of a server as strong and popular as this one. You got to just take on the responsibility or delegate. Find someone to be able to delegate it to.
Great power comes great responsibility.
And the other way around.
Not too
All
many
right.
real estate related questions today, Bob.
Don't know why. I think it was your
They're all
passion
killer.
that killed everything.
Sorry about that.
They're all not killed in a bad way, but killed in a good way. That they're all mesmerized. They're all thinking.
They all got off the good dial.
There you go.
I hope so. I hope that they
They're
take
all on
that
the
energy,
phones.
man. I hope that there are people in here. I feel like there are. I feel like there are people in here that do get fired up when we really share, what we're passionate about and the opinions that we have, the perspectives that we hold.
Sure.
And I just hope that, at the end of the day, we can really inspire that one person, who's like really on the fence, who does have what it takes, that really does have what it takes, but maybe the people around them just aren't supporting them in the way that they need to be supported, and the environment just isn't helping them thrive. I hope that this can be an environment for you to get around the right people, to fuel that faith in yourself, and for you to start really taking action.
Agree.
Yeah. I mean, it is important to put yourself around people who share your ideologies. I mean, it's, because you are, sometimes you are just a, conversation or, a phone call or, engagement away from, being in the right proximity to change your life. Sometimes even the wrong people can come into your life and change your life in the right way.
Or they could really change your life in the wrong way.
That's a powerful thing that your wheels are going to be spinning on that one. Your wheels are going to be spinning on that one.
Well, I mean, if we don't have any more questions, we might as well get busy.
Trying to come up.
Oh yeah,
David G's been trying to get up here.
Come on, David. Bring it in, man.
They're trying to get up here.
Keep inventory.
We need some feature. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, keep inventory of the people that you keep close, because truly, I
Yes.
see it all the time on my timeline. Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. All my friends, we're pending billionaires. You know what I'm saying? We only talk money. We only talk money, business, and like finance, man. We of course, we chop it up too, but man, we're always focused on the money. We're always elevating each other. We talk fitness, we talk business, like constantly. It's all we think about. It's all we think about. It's all we do. So it's only a matter of time until we are where we want to be at. You gotta really take inventory of the people around you, and this is why I'm such an advocate. I can only speak from my experience, so if you don't have dependents and people that are depending on you, but like, get out of the environments that don't serve you. I don't care who it is, man. The hardest people to get away from sometimes can be family. And like, you gotta sometimes separate yourself from the people. Doesn't matter if they're blood or not, man. Like, if they're not helping you, if they're not believing in you, they're not supporting you, and they're constantly tearing you down, they're constantly telling you you're not shit, all that repetition all the time is not going to positively propel you. You need to be around people that feed into you in a good way, not feed your ego and blow you up to be more than you are, but that inspire you to say, hey, look, this is where you're at today, this is where you're going to go, and this is how you're going to get there, and we're going to make this happen together. You want to be around brotherhood or sisterhood. You want to be in communion with people that want to see you succeed. That's the number one thing. You want to be around people that want to see you win and celebrate your win. And I promise you this, when other people win, it's never going to fuck up your time. Your time's going to come. It might not come immediately, but it's going to come if you're putting in that work. So just remember that.
Yeah, I'll say I had one person in my entire life. Most people around me, people outside of me, always told me that like they were always like, "Oh, this dude, he's gonna be something." I can just feel it. My dad's friends used to say it about me when I was a little kid. All this stuff. My whole entire life, people said that about me. But I had one person in my life. Who didn't believe in me, who always kind of like talked down on like what I was always talking about. That was my dad. And my dad's also one of my best friends. But my dad would constantly tell me I didn't know what I was talking about, and that I would that what I was saying wasn't going to work out, and that, and I was gonna, if I went the way that I was trying to go, that I was going to fail. And the thing was for me is I was like, man, like, I knew to be able to take our family to the next level. I knew if I was like, man, if I knew I wanted to take my dad to the next level, I was like, I got to get away from my dad. And that's a crazy feeling, because it's like, I highly respect everything that my dad says. And my dad's one of my biggest advisors in my businesses now. But, my dad it wasn't really his fault, because he didn't really understand. He just didn't really understand what I needed to do. Because we just don't really think on the same frequencies. So it's even hard for him now to really understand some of the things that I speak about. But I knew at one point, I was like, for me to be able to get him to his next level, to help him out, right? I'm going to have to separate myself from him, at least for a period of time. And so, it's been I've been lucky enough to put myself in the right positions, and to now I'm able to, do some great things for them. And, and we're working towards a vision together now. And I've been able to help him kind of see a different light in some different things. And, it's sometimes, like John said, you got to step away from even the people that you respect. You can respect their opinions, and you can respect the things that they say. But sometimes you even got to step away from those people. It's not so much they're even trying to keep you away from success. It's just because they just don't understand, what it is that's needed to happen in order for you to get to the success that you want to get to. So,
but I bet you now, man, your dad is very proud of you and the man you've become.
I mean, I think so. Yeah, I think so. I don't really think he understands what it is, what I do. I don't even think that he really conceptualizes, the level that I'm at, but he does say certain things sometimes. He was like saying to one of his buddies the other day, he was telling me his story yesterday, and he was like, yeah, I was telling all my friends some stuff about, some stuff that you were doing. And he was like, oh yeah, he's going to be a millionaire or whatever. My dad was like, I think he's already there. I'm not really sure, but I think he's already at that point. And he said his friend was like, oh, then he's going to be a billionaire. And I was like, well, we're headed in the right direction. So I think he does understand to some degree, but there's still like some disconnect. People from back home, I think people generally just from my hometown, they don't even, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day about this exact topic. I said, I don't even think people from my hometown even really, like, they don't even understand, like, they don't even know what level that I'm at this point. Like, they don't even know. Like, like they don't even understand, how much money I'm able to spend a month. Like, they don't even understand the level that I'm able to play at, the things that I'm able to access. Like, they don't even get it. Like, I think people think that I'm doing well, but I don't really think they get it, if that makes sense. I don't know if anybody else up here feels that way, but
I prefer it that way.
you prefer it that way?
I do. Yep. I think the best kind of like, I mean, I come from a very small town with very stuck old ways and the good old boys club. And certainly my family was a part of that good old boys club. And I enjoyed every last minute of getting out of there, because everything given, nothing earned is kind of a boring lifestyle after a while. But everybody around there, the kids that I grew up with, I was not a very well-liked person growing up. I was always a little bit different, that black wolf, if you will. So I went to public school most of my life, got pulled out for high school because it just wasn't working for me anymore. So I went to a college prep school. And the bottom line I'm getting at here is, a lot of those kids, I was that kid from Kent County, Maryland that, my parents did very well, but not as well as the people that, lived in DC or all this other shit. And, now it's hilarious. I graduated at the top of my class, but I went off and I didn't go to college, and everybody in that school was like, Andrew, you're an idiot. Good luck. You're never going to make it. And now I just rest easy. I rest super easy knowing that they have no idea what I'm up to these days. But what I do know is, because they're so active on their social medias and, their LinkedIn and all this shit, I know exactly what they're up to. So it's good enough for me.
I like that.
I had a friend of mine who I went to college with who was in my fraternity, and we were like really close at one point. But I remember when I first got the place that I'm living in now, when I first got it, and we were remodeling it, and I remember he commented on I had an Instagram story up of the view and everything like that. And he commented and he said, he goes, "Oh man, that's my dream to live. That's my dream right there." And I remember I felt so sad because I hadn't talked to him in like 4 or 5 years, and I said, and I go, "Man," I said, "it doesn't have to be a dream." I go, "Come down, stay with me. You can stay with me whenever you want." I said, I'll teach you how to get it. It's not that difficult. I'll teach you how to get it." And I don't even think he understood what offer, like what I was really offering him. Like, cause he just hit me back with, he's like, "Oh, well, I mean, what do you mean?" Or something like that. I was like, I said, I'll teach you how to make the money to live in a place like this. And he's like, "Well, I was making like 150K a year before taxes when I was working for, this company or whatever." And I was like, and then we got into this conversation. I was like, "Oh, well, that's great, man." And he was like, "Yeah, now the mortgage business isn't doing so well. So now I'm shifting over to this." But I don't even think he really even understood what I was even really saying. Like, I don't even think he understood the offer that I was giving him. Like, he goes on to just tell me about a salary that he's making. And I don't know if he feels like that's, I mean, 150,000 is nothing to joke about, for sure. I'm not saying that's way more than what most people make in America. So, I mean, but I just remember reading that message, that response back, and I was just like what a weird response. Like, I just don't. I think some people think that I live in some people from back home who know me from back then. They think it was like I don't know, like I live in a fairy tale or something. Like, I don't really live. Like, it's not really reality. Like, I could tell him, I was telling him, like, one of my friends who I grew up with for a long time, I was telling him how much money I spent last month just on expenses. And it's like, I mean, I spent last month what most people make in a year. And he was like, I don't even think he really even conceptualized. He was just, because he kind of just blew right past it. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy. Wow, that sounds great." And I'm like, do they not believe me, or do they just not like well, I don't understand what really, like, I don't really, I'm like, I don't, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, I don't really know what I have to say to really get my point across sometimes. I'm like, but I don't even think people even really conceptualize how much different my life is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think the big thing for me, and where I draw the line with a lot of people, is that if you're not interested in my journey, then you have no business knowing about my money, right? Because the money is just a byproduct of an incredible journey that I'm on. That whatever journey you're on, like, that's what people should be interested. Like, that's what there is to learn from. It shouldn't be a money-based thing. You can just kind of look around at people. You can see at face value what kind of lifestyle people live if you get around them. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is the journey that gets you there. So for me, I just have no interest in even dealing with people, talking to people about how much money I make, what I do, because to me, it's not even that important, right? Of course, I mean, yes, the money is great, but I get up every day and I'm in love with my journey. And that's what I want to share with people, because if you can get anywhere close to this journey, or you want to learn about this journey, then the byproduct for you will be money. Just like if somebody wants to listen to Dan's journey, or Bob's journey, or Matt's journey, or John's journey, whoever's journey, that the byproduct is cash reward. You need to be more interested in that than what they're making.
I think the thing for me is it's a frustration. It's frustration that I feel like I'm like, because I think I want people who I grew up around to conceptualize so that they want more for themselves. I think that's really what it is. Like, I'm like,
Dan, I resonate with what you just said there, man. And
yeah,
I saw recently a video by Tate, and he's like, someone's got to lose, man. You wouldn't appreciate being a winner if there were no losers. And like, the bottom line is this, and it's very difficult. Not everybody wants to accept this, but look, we are entrepreneurs. I don't know how this is going to make people feel, but I feel like a fucking winner. I feel like I earned this shit. And there are some losers that just will lose. They won't change. They won't change. They will say they want it. They don't want it. They don't want it. And at the end of the day, one thing I learned at a very young age. I can't want it for others. You know, I can't impose my beliefs on anybody else. And not everybody is meant to live this way. We need people to work in a different way. And I guess that's really it. You know, not everybody's going to understand, but what I really do appreciate is to be in proximity with others that do understand, that do work, that do inspire me to want more, because even I'm not performing at the highest level of the greatest what my potential could be. I'm still, you know, for the most part, a young kid still like trying to figure shit out. So I just feel like not everybody can understand. They just can't comprehend. And that's okay too. Like that's one thing I had to come to terms with. That's okay. Not everybody's gonna understand. And it's not my responsibility to make them understand either. They just won't get it.
Yeah.
They won't get it, man. They can't. We're different.
It's just frustrating. I don't know. It's just frustrating stuff, but it's just more of like it's a glossing. It's not a serious issue of this thing. It's sometimes frustrating.
Oh man, it was a serious issue.
Apparently,
man.
Apparently, I constantly change my voice though. So according to side chats, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I don't know what that means.
New, man. He just got
Anyways, Pansy, do you have a question?
Hi guys. I don't have a question. I actually wanted to come on because what John said a little bit ago about being in the right rooms and around people that, you know, when you're going through something, and it makes me emotional. So I apologize. Because I found the real estate community while going through a very difficult health, physical, mental health issue that I still work on every day. And the people that I'm around are not very observant or positive. So to be able to get in these communities around people who want better and are willing to listen and give you so many different perspectives, not just about real estate, but about mindset, you know, how to do more with your money, how, you know, how to get into the right rooms is, I just wanted to thank everyone because I know I sit in the background a lot, and it's not that I want to. I've been working on staying focused and working with Angie's team, and our meetings usually start when you guys start. So I'm trying not to have shiny object syndrome while also working on my health and, you know, money situation. And I don't share a lot of it. I'm currently in a situation where I'll be going through a divorce after 20 years of being a stay-at-home mom. So it's really difficult, you know, to stay focused sometimes. And I just wanted you guys to know that you have helped me, and I do appreciate being here. And I hope others get as much value that I do. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Pansy. We're certainly sorry to hear that you're going through it right now in your season of struggle. But, you know, we also want to encourage you to just remember that this is temporary, and this is also presenting an opportunity, you know, for you to really change that narrative and prevail ultimately prevail. So, if there's anything that the community can do, if you have any deals, if you are looking at leads, or you need to be put in proximity with people in any way, that can help, leverage the community. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm sure, there's an opportunity just waiting for you to really take advantage of.
I appreciate that. Yes, I believe that there's many opportunities. And I also wanted to say, because many of you are younger than I am, not Mr. Bob, but
Thanks.
but
I love that.
I wanted to just say I did not have many of these opportunities until I'm currently 48, and I didn't have many of these opportunities until my late 40s. And to see so many young people working on your mindset, working on having your financial situation much better than what I grew up experiencing, and you guys taking advantage now. And just because you're young doesn't mean you can't be good leaders. You guys are taking on that leadership role. And I think it's amazing what you guys are doing, and very inspiring. So, yeah, like I don't feel that anyone younger doesn't have anything to offer. I believe we all have something to offer at many ages and stages. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Bob, I think that you have experience more than many of us. I wasn't being mean about your age.
I know. I didn't take it the wrong way.
He's got a little bit of experience. Yeah.
Yeah. We have a saying in our country, in back in Iran, where we say, "Hey, when someone's older than you, they've torn through a few more shirts than you have." So, yeah, I've gone through a few shirts, yes, and I'm more than happy to share them with you and everybody else, so long as it helps.
If you could share one of them with me, because I
yeah, on its way. I'll FedEx it to you today.
No, thank you, Pansy. We appreciate it for sure. Yeah, it really means a lot when people write to us. I know I get a lot of messages from people who write to me in private and tell me how this show has changed their life. And it's honestly, it's like we don't even understand the impact for sure, but it's definitely is a big reason of why we don't try to miss. Even if one of us can't be here one day, the rest of us are here. Carrying the show for everybody else. So it's why it's important for us to come in here every day and give back. I think the one thing that we all share here, we all have very different personalities. And we all see things a little bit differently. That's obviously one thing that makes this show so valuable to people. But the other thing is, I think, is the fact that we all, every single person up here, for a fact, we all care, right? Like we care. We're not up here just to just in it for ourselves or whatever, just because we want the attention. Like we're all up here talking and saying things that we do because we honestly truly care about other people's success, future. And I know for a fact that's the truth because I've talked to every single one of these people up here individually, and I know that they all individually really do actually care. And so even Juan, believe it or not, I know his voice doesn't really come across as genuine, but I mean he's a genuine dude. I promise. But
I'm not genuine.
You are. I'm saying you are. No, I'm joking. I'm just messing with you because you just showed back up here. I saw your name, so I just had to pick on you. But no, yeah, we all really care, and it means a lot when you guys come here and tell us the impact that we put in your life. So appreciate that.
Well, gents, I'm very glad and proud to be a part of this community, and I'm glad that we had this conversation today for the Mindset Monday. I think it was productive for everybody. It was for me. And I hope everybody has a great day. I have to jump off, unfortunately, but I wish everybody the best. Go grind. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Man, is there a better real estate community anywhere else on the internet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. You know what would
I don't
make
think
this
so.
community a little bit better? Is if each
What's
of
that?
you could send this link to somebody you think would benefit from being in proximity with us. Discord.gg/REI Rev. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what to do. Post it on your Instagram, your story, tag us, put it on your timeline, send it in the DMs. Nothing wrong with sliding in the DMs. You know, send it
As long as it's appropriate. As long as it's appropriate. As long as it's an REI Rev link.
As long as it's REI.
You want to learn how to get more responses out of your DMs. Start sliding that REI Rev link inside the message on the first tab.
Tell them, listen, I got an opportunity for you. Where are you at?
Nothing says I want, and nothing says I'm interested in you in your personal development more than a link to REI Rev. I can't even say that. We should start we should have like a little like when they do it the Valentine's Day things. It's like we should have REI Rev Valentine's Day.
I would
writings.
love.
That'd be.
I would very
great.
much love that. I would very much love that.
We got to do that. Somebody write that down. I can't forget. Write it down.
For REI Rev. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Take it ahead.
Dan, let everybody know where they can reach you and
Oh.
Juan for your podcast tonight. You have a link?
So I will post the announcement link in the chat like an hour or two before we jump on.
Awesome.
So sometimes we don't always start the same time. Sometimes we're usually it's 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
7:30. Okay.
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30. There you go. Yeah, Matt Riley may or may not be there. You never know. He sometimes pops in.
That was actually really freaking cool that he showed up. It was a good.
I wasn't expecting him to show up. Actually.
Yeah, and then we got into a therapy session for that too. So that was great.
We did.
Such a
We
great
did. Yeah, catch us. So yeah, there you go. All right, we'll post the link. We'll share. I will see you guys later today, and don't forget this Friday, another webinar event, free for REI Rev, going over everything sales related,
Cool.
sales strategy related.
Wow, I got to join that.
One may or may not be there. I don't know. Never know.
Maybe not. Only if the community follows me at Mr. Juan Nicasio.
Everybody here's got to follow him at Mr. Juan
I get
Nicasio.
37 followers. I'll show up on that call.
Oh, and if you ordered a sub account from me from last Friday for last Friday, there'll be a unique offer. There'll be a unique offer this Friday. But if you ordered a sub account from me last Friday, that will be delivered today by the end of the day. So you'll have it by the end of the day.
I just got an update from my agent because I have an agent, and they tell me that property we got under contract is the best for deer and elk hunting. This is increasing that value tremendously. I love money, man. I love money.
Anybody here like to hunt deer and elk? There you go. Go buy your land from John. He's got a great deal.
Fantastic.
Oh, I got
like 100 and some acres for like $300,000 or something like that.
That's great. Wow, that's
160.
wow.
160
You
acres.
won't believe what I have it locked up for, man. You won't believe what I have it locked up for.
160 acres. I mean, I can literally disappear and go off the grid.
Yeah, me and Juan might be your buyers, John. We might be your buyers. You never know.
Where is
Might
it?
be your buyers. New Mexico.
New Mexico. Okay, that's cool.
We can live off the land. We can live off. We have plenty of deer and elk.
Yeah, and I'm almost Mexican, so
You can pass. You can pass.
I mean,
You can pass. Secretly.
yo hablo español, man. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, I got to get to paying the bills again. I appreciate everybody here. Hope everyone was inspired and absolutely freaking crushes it, because there's really no reason why not. I mean, shit. You got tools, you got resources, and you got an entire freaking community to make it work. So, wow.
Have a productive day, everybody.